Let's go to the Moon Oracle and see what's being activated here. You are being challenged by the element of air to expand how you think. From this old to the new. Okay, so you're working on the economy of this new world. As you expand through the earth, of course, you are with your instincts. Yes. Right here, this is exactly what you're doing. Right? You're investing right here into the economy, and you're building the economy of this new world. That's what you're doing. You're a builder. You're a builder of this new world. Here it is. And this is working with loved ones that have crossed over and having a deep connection right now, especially working with a masculine that has crossed over. And there was purpose to this. You're connected to them. It's part of the dream. And you're working with animals. There's a connection to dogs, loving dogs, and children, youth. Innocence is within this economy. Innocence is restored. The energy of innocence is restored within this economy through your instincts. And that's part of your legacy here and part of your core foundation. And there's your elevation right there. And what you're elevating from is feeding from lust, is feeding from the cup of lust, having this lustful experience in order for you to understand how to bear fruit here. What are the patterns of fruit, and to have a fruitful relationship, to have a fruit within your relationship. Because what does that mean? That means that there's been fertility between the masculine and feminine. And not fertility in the way that you think of sex, but fertility of consciousness, fertility of expanding consciousness, which is divine feminine and masculine are here to do. So feeding from the cup of lust allows ideas to be birthed, more fruitful ideas to be birthed, and understanding where there's going to be fruit, a situation where there will be fruit, or there's going to be a situation where there's going to be no fruit. And you're learning that. You're learning through this sacred lustful experience how you have to have the experience. You forgive yourself for having this experience. Part of healing from the artificial matrix is the artificial matrix makes you think you need to have it all figured out within the programs. Part of healing on your spiritual quest is really realizing, no, that's not it. Is that you have experiences in order to understand this world, in order to understand yourself, and you fall in order to rise. You shrink in order to expand. You are all things, and you're not living in a movie. You could start, if you want to look at it that, you're living in 25 movies. You're living in 52. I don't know, you're living in 105. You expand your perceptions, but you don't even need those perceptions anymore. You go beyond this world to source itself. Within yourself. But you have to give yourself permission to have your experiences and not live in this perfection bubble of world where you're just stuck in now a prison of your perceptions of what you think you should be, instead of expanding with what you are. And you are dark and light. You are this and that. You are all things, and you are degrees of all things at every different time. You're in alchemy with yourself in this world, body, mind, soul, masculine, feminine, and inner child, with your inner world and your outer world, and your different degrees of all things at every given time. That's what you're in the process of understanding as you are manifesting. And this is restoring your confidence within yourself. There's so much fire. Look, there's an extended message of what this is about. This is about moving with the instinct of water, the feminine, the mother. What is more, I don't know what's more ancient than water, we're finding out, right? And you can feel that water, like water holds the key to life. But without the sun, without the fire, it's the balance, it's the growth, it's the confidence restored. And within this extended message, like we talked about last time we met up, the alchemist, you're getting back to your connection with nature and the earth element, because of course you're working with the earth. The Four of Pentacles is here. The wheel spun and winter, but there's a connection to spring on the wheel. And this festival, Beltane, which is connected to fertility, which is in May, right after spring. We celebrate spring. And it's a fire festival of fertility and love. And this is part of your foundations. You need to forgive yourself. There's a forgiveness that you feeling this love is a part of your foundation. Even if you don't have it yet, even if you're not fully experiencing it yet within the 3D and it's expanding, this love is a part of within you. It's a part of your foundation. It's a part of your Four of Pentacles. It's a part of what you're holding on to. And you are seeing this. You are literally seeing your connection to the cycles, to the moon, to shape-shifting, to the rhythms of creation, to yourself. Because remember, you've opened up to yourself, within yourself. And you're seeing it's just you, and you against you, and you expanding with you and God. And because it's Cancer, you're working with the home and what is familiar, your family. And let's get an activation for this. There's something sacred expanding here. And it's so sacred. And it's a connection to all of life. And through your pain, through your struggles, through your, more negative, embracing more of your negative sacred experiences on your spiritual quest. Because they're part of what's expanding your heart. They're part of what's allowing you to be more kind. And these experiences that, yes, they may be more painful, they are giving you the energy of movement to protect, to guard, to activate something which is natural within you, to protect the innocence of life, and to protect the innocence within yourself, and to protect the innocence of nature and what is so vulnerable and strong within this world. And look at animals, look at just animals. Look at the pure love for animals. There's some sort of connection to pure love within yourself. And doing all this work with the masculine. You're extra connected to expanding with the masculine right now. It's the masculine's time to amp it up, because, you hear this as right now the time of the feminine, right? The feminine's being rebirthed. But how's the feminine going to be rebirthed? We're all things. The masculine's amping it up through restoring balance. Now there's another connection to the wheel. This is the autumn equinox, restoring balance, dark and light, this and that, positive and negative, the past and the future, expanding through the present moment and letting go of what needs to be let go of to restore balance. Because what time are we in? We're in the time of Yule right now. We just had the rebirth. From the shortest day of the year, now we will go to the longest day of the year. And you are being asked to get back to dedicating your work at the altar, on your spiritual quest, with your toolbox of your tools in that you're using to expand with here within the Four of Pentacles. You're being asked to dedicate yourself to your spiritual quest and this path and this work every day, and to not separate yourself from this work and to merge it within you. This is your purpose. And it's amping up right now. Remember, Cancer, within the connection to your family, to your home, to your people. And I know for sure I'm being called to my family and to my home and to my people right now. And God, remember, God's part of your people. The elements are part of your people. You know, the powers of creation are part of your people. What is beyond this world is part of your people. You're working with your ancients and ancestors, loved ones that have crossed over, animals that have crossed over. Unity, that's absolutely beautiful. Unity with the Chariot, of course. Thank you, Cancer season. Attention restores the motion. Had to get it untwisted with the dark and integrate it, not separate from it and run from it and live in a show and be fake. No, be real as fuck and say, yeah, this is the dark. This is my dark. But I've shed the light there. I have the wisdom there. I own this. This is part of this world. And I've done the work to untwist it within myself, to heal what needs to be healed within myself, to unite the pieces within myself, to do the work with God, to be whole, to do the healing, to do the integration, to do the elevation, to allow God to expand that knowledge with you. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. This is expanding organized religion. This is part of the mission. This is expanding organized religion. This is learning from that. Remember, from the old to the new with that Four of Pentacles. It's like being honest with what your foundation is here. But now you're going to expand from the foundation of old to new. And you're going to really get to know God through inner discovery with yourself. But there is some sort of union happening from the old to the new as you expand from organized religion. The Chariot. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. And and the merging of all things, I want to go back to this. Even within this channel, you'll see the merging of all things. We have this, look. Right? Which is wisdom. Speak about God. Speak about Buddha. We're going to speak about, it's speaking about all things. It's the merge of all things. Everything here was created by God. Let's get to know it. It's all one. Not living in separation. It's like, there's the division right there. It's like, witches are good, witches are bad, witches are not part of God. Of course they are. And there's good and bad everywhere. There's good and bad priests. Like, there's good and bad people reading the tarot. There's good and bad people at the grocery store. But remember, you're evolving. You're going to remove those kind of perceptions and hold space for people. These people, said people are waking up. Or maybe they're not going to wake up. I don't know. We don't know all these things, right? Even though we're connected to all things, we don't know all things. We're evolving. So it's like you're holding space for people and understanding that they're evolving and that, they're projecting. Because they're not aware. Because what is consciousness? Expanding with your consciousness. Expanding with your consciousness is having an awareness to your thoughts and your actions. And being able to get your thoughts in alignment with your actions and not being delusional and just thinking that you're living in your head. Oh, well, I'm conscious. I'm aware in my head, but I'm not acting it out. And I don't know why my life is still a mess, or my life is still not changing, or my life is still doing this. But you have to act out with the Father, with the fire, what you see. You have to apply force there. And as you apply force, that is what allows you to manifest, to have the action of the formation. So you gotta be really honest with yourself, and you can't be tricking yourself. And yes, it gets really easy to want to go without and to start bitching at people without and start saying all this stuff to people without. But this isn't that. This is going back within and doing the work back within, and knowing your inner work is going to elevate your environment, and you're going to shift dimensions, and you're not going to have to do all this work in your outer environment if you hang tight with your inner environment. And as you do this work, it's not going to matter so much. Like, you're not going to care so much what's happening without you. But again, too, it goes back to the work and not running from the work. And these programs really make you want to run from the work, because the work is work. And it's easy to sit in these comfortable programs, but then it's not, because then too, that's why you're still craving God and acting up and not really happy and still have to pleasure seek. But you're not doing that anymore. You're ready for some serotonin. You're ready to be empty, to fill back up. You're ready to do some chemistry work with yourself. And an important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition with the Chariot. Because look, do you see the dark is looking at the light with love. With love. The dark is looking at the light with love. And look at how the love can move forward. Because you know what? The light loved the dark. The light loved the dark. The light loved the dark. And the dark was seen. And there's the merge. And now look, the light goes forward. And the light doesn't even have to look back. Because the light feels the love of the dark. The light feels that love. And that's the true integration and merge of your ego and your shadow. You do the shadow work, and even ego sounds so nasty, right? It feels better to say you're integrating your shadow, because that's because you're connecting to the hive mind, and you can feel that push and pull to that word. It feels better to say shadow integration, right? There's less of a push and pull, because it's still the collective needs to do the work to understand this stuff, right? And that's where you can hold more space. And, you know, for the guy yelling at the guy in the grocery store in the line that's not being fast enough or whatever, like, because like when you start to actually apply like emotional intelligence, you have to apply holistic healing in order for it to even be intelligent. But for you really to apply emotional intelligence, you see how whacked out and like sad it is in a humble way, because you're holding space for people, that guy's yelling at that other guy because the lineup's being held up and he's in a rush. But you see, he's stuck in the programs. There's no kindness, tolerance, and compassion for himself. So he's projecting. But it's very gotta be tricky too, because now you know what, you can project things out and people can be talking about you about what you're projecting. Or you can actually be getting feedback from people. Okay, you can have people in your life giving you honest feedback about things that you have expressed to them. And yeah, maybe some projecting comes back in that, but there's honest feedback. But then there's just actual people that are unaware of their blind spots and project. Like, this is emotional intelligence. It's like you're unaware of your blind spots, and you're not doing your work, and you're not, doing all the shadow integration work, but you're just faking yourself because you're still getting high off the programs. But then, you know what? But you get honest with yourself and you really do your shadow integration work, and allows you to hold more space for people and hear them, to give them honest feedback where you're not projecting to them. And you can be more value to yourself, to your loved ones, and to the collective, which is part of being in service, and it's going to be, again, too, part of your mission, right? Okay. So, the 9 of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employed. This is what you're doing. Successful self-employment. It's part of your abundance. It's part of the old to the new. It's part of your slingshot manifestation here. And there it is. Happy times. Make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. And you're on the right path. And you're healing because you did all this work to expand to the old, to the new, with the everything and all things. Including yourself with the masculine. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. And we know that there was adversity in order for the structure to have a recalibration. The matter and the energy, the masculine and the feminine, in order for the structure to understand, it needed to nurture. There needed to be more nurturing within the discipline, in an accepting of the negative, of the darkness that has been created within this world, to transmute it. And now, exciting new opportunities, career advancements, and a change in your life. Congratulations. All right, much love. Until next time, I'm sending it to you, those good healing vibes. I look forward to see you when we expand, and hope that we are all feeling like this. Much love.